In a small town in Ohio, in one of these Marco's stores, they had a little delivery driver by the name of Joe Jaros. Joe Jaros delivered pizzas. And Joe Jaros, if you were to ask him, loved his customers. He loved his customers. Okay, so how do we know that? How did his customers know that? How did he show it? Here's what it looked like. He would arrive at a customer's house with a pizza, and as he walked up to the door, if he noticed, for example, that the light bulb on the porch in this customer's house was burned out, what do you think he would do? Change the light bulb. He'd change the light bulb. Why would he do that? Because that's what you do when you love somebody. You help them out. Change the light bulb, here's your pizza. I guarantee you nowhere in his job description did it say change light bulb. And then, you know, he lives in Ohio, and in Ohio they have this thing. It's called winter, which means snow. And if he was delivering a pizza in a snowstorm and he got to a customer's house, and the walk, for those of you that have never lived in snow or experienced this, let me describe it for you. The snow piles up everywhere. The sidewalk to the front door, oftentimes you'll have drifts of 3 feet or more in a snowstorm blocking the way to the house. And he's got to get to the door. He's got a pizza here. That walk is snowed over. What do you think he would do? He'd shovel the walk. Shovel the walk, deliver the pizza. Change the light bulb, deliver the pizza. So you know what started to happen? People would call that store, and they'd order a pizza, and they'd also order Joe. I would like a pepperoni pizza, please, and have Joe deliver it. So pretty soon, it didn't take long for the owner of, it's a franchise organization, right? For the owner of that franchise, that particular Marco's franchise, saw what Joe Jaros was doing, and he was so impressed by Joe, you know what he did? He made him a partner in that store. Partner in that store. Now, several years later, Joe Jaros owns 3 Marco's franchises. Yeah? So I'm telling you, when he was delivering pizzas, it was like, I'll be a pizza delivery boy for the rest of my life. Didn't matter. He said, I love my customers. I'm going to take care of them. And he didn't do it because he thought that someday he would be given the opportunity to be an owner of a Marco's store. He did it because it was the right thing to do, because that's what you do when you love somebody. And it just so happens that it's also really good business. Now, here's a little epilogue to that story. Also in a small Ohio town, there lived, once upon a time, a little old lady. She lived alone in her house. She fell down. She was scared. She was hurt. She made it to the phone. She called the hospital. They picked her up, sent an ambulance, picked her up, took her to the hospital, fixed her up, and then it was time to discharge her, to let her go home. So they said, give us the phone number of somebody in your family or a friend, and we'll have them come collect you and take you home. Well, that's when they found out that this lovely lady was alone on the planet. She had no friends. She had no family. She had nobody. There was one phone number that she knew by heart. What do you think it was? The local Marco's Pizza, where she frequently ordered from. She said, this is the only phone number I know. So they called. They called Marco's. They said, hey, I know this is odd, but we have this lovely lady here. She needs to go home, and this is the only number that she knows. Is there any way that somebody there can come and pick her up and take her home? And then, without hesitation, they sent one of their folks to pick up this lady and take her home. No pizza involved. No. Nowhere in the job description does it say rescue customer from hospital. And you know what? That store that sent that person without hesitating to pick her up is one of the stores owned by Joe Jaros. So that's become part of his culture, part of his legacy, part of the way that we do business.